Hi guys, it's Dakota. Hope everybody's doing well. So today I'm going to try to speed through this as quickly as I can. I have a lot to cover. I wanted to talk today about the waters that I use in my spell work, my spellcrafting, my magic, and why. What prompted me to do this video is I had a customer, it's probably been a month ago or so, had a situation, had an issue, and as we talked about it, I made the decision that something that would help her tremendously would be Florida water. So we went over to the Florida water. This is Florida water, and it says right there, Florida water, and right here it says cologne. I'm not sure if it's backwards to you or not, but Florida water is actually a cologne, and I believe it was first produced or made, manufactured, whatever, in the early 1800s. And there are people, like the mundane people, the people that are not necessarily using it for spiritual purposes whatsoever, that actually wear it as a cologne, believe it or not, because that's what it is. It's a cologne. And it's used by both men and women, so both can wear it. But the majority of spiritual people, at least the ones that I know, and classes that I've taken, etc., Florida water is a big thing. We use Florida water for everything. So what is everything? Well, you can use Florida water it can be used for protection, for purification. It's great to cleanse your space, whether you're getting ready to do ritual or doing spell work, magic work, clearing your space. You're going to do a meditation, clear your space. It's great for yoga rooms to clear the space. And since it's a purifier, it also helps cleanse and purifies the air as well. Now, I do know that when the coronavirus first indulged on us, a lot of people were making hand sanitizer, and probably still are, using Florida water. Now, I don't think they use this straight. It does have alcohol as the first ingredient, but I looked and this doesn't tell me how much alcohol is in this. So I would not, until I do further research, I'm just going to say this particular bottle, I would not just put on my hands and say, okay, my hands are cleansed now. Because I don't know what the percentage of alcohol is in the Florida water. So please, if you decide that you want to use Florida water for hand sanitizer, do a little bit of work, do some research, and figure that out. But anyway, you can put it in. This is a way giant spritzer. Okay, this is a big spritzer. I don't even know how many ounces that is, but it's big. This is my counter cleaner that I make, and but you can take Florida water, put a few drops in there to clean your kitchen counters, your bathrooms, the floors. You can spritz it around your doors, around your window seals. Again, you can spritz yourself with it. Put a couple drops in your bath water. It's like an all-purpose, it's like the all-purpose water. It can be used for so many different things. I use it specifically for, or not specifically, but commonly I use it when I dress my candles, or to anoint my candles before I dress them. It's probably a better way to say it, although I have used it to dress the candles, but I do use it for my candles. I've used it to a couple of drops in like moon water to when you're cleansing your stones or your jewelry, etc. Just a couple drops though, because it does have alcohol and some other stuff in it. So has fragrance and has some color in it, so you're going to want to be careful with it. But it's really just an all-purpose water. It smells a little citrusy, kind of. I don't know, like, but it's citrusy, maybe a combination of, I put it up too far up my nose, kind of orange, lemon, but on the light side. It's strong, but on the light side of citrus. It just smells pure, fresh, clean. That's what it smells like to me. So that's your all-purpose. I use it for everything. The other three oils, waters, that I use fairly regularly. Well, let me start with this one. I rarely, okay, so I'm going to rephrase that. I rarely use this one. This is rose water, which is cologne, rose cologne, but it is rose water. That's what we call rose water, okay? Or we use it for rose water. And of course, roses is all about love, so this can be used in love spells, whatever, passionate love, romantic love, lust love. It can be used for self-love, world love, anything that has to do with love. It's rose. I am not big on the fragrance of rose, any rose. I don't really like the smell of like rose incense, rose oil, rose water. If I smell a regular rose, I do like that. But the waters are different. Or even the oils, all of those. It's just not me. I just don't care for it. But if I have a client that needs some love, whatever their issue is regarding love, I might add a drop or two onto or into the spell work that I'm doing for them. When I talk about the spell work for them, I don't actually create a spell and hand it to them and go, here you go, signed, sealed, and delivered. I put everything together as needed, and they are given, when I give that almost end project to them, they are given instructions on how to complete the spell work. They must do that on their own in order for the spell to work, because I think anybody that is asking for spell work needs to participate in it. It is your energy after all. It is your issue after all. It is your question. It is your desire, your goal, etc. And so you should have a part in that. So I make sure that my clients have to do something with their spell work. And you know, if they're in the closet, which I do have clients that are in the closet, I mean locked tight closets, they still know that when I give them something, it is not complete. It is not complete until they finish it. So they might have to hide it, or they might have to go to the park or do whatever they need to do in order to complete the spell work, because they do need to participate in that. If the question and the desire is that important, then they need to do some work. That's how I work. That's just how I work. Okay. So I use Orange Blossom Cologne water, Orange Blossom. And it's this really pretty orange color, of course. It does not really smell like oranges. Not to me, it doesn't. It's sweet, but it's a weird sweet. This makes me happy. This is my happy water. It makes me happy. So when I do some bead work, and of course I make candles for the store. I make intention oils for the store. So there's things that I make for the store and things that I make for myself personally. And I'm not a very creative person. If you've watched my videos, you know I'm not crafty that way. I'm not an artist by any means, and so I will put like a little bit of this in a little bowl, set it on the altar or the table space where I'm doing my work. I've even dropped a couple on a lava stone, or even a piece of cotton if I didn't have the stone available, and just put near me so I could kind of get that whiff you know, that smell every so often. I feel like I feel like it just kind of helps with creativity and like I said, it just really makes me happy. It's also good for finances, for wealth, finances, and success. So I did do some spell work for somebody who was having financial issues, and I have these little vials. I think they're sample perfume vials or whatever, and I will put like drops of oil in them or drops of the waters, etc., to give to the client if that's part of the project that they, you know, part of the thing that they have to complete in their work. So they were having some financial issues, and they had to give me a $10 bill in which I took the orange blossom water, and well, of course, I had drawn some things, sigils, etc., onto the bill, and then gave them the little vial of the orange blossom water that later on they had work to do where they took that little vial and they had to go over the sigils and the writing, etc., with the water to help with the spell. Okay, this is, I'm probably not saying it right. I call it Kananga Water, Kananga Water, which is a cologne, as you can see right there. And this I love. Okay, I used it, and you can see that it's orangish. This is made from the Lang Lang flower, which is sort of an orangey color. And what it does for me is helps with communication with ancestors. So it's really good for ancestor work. And if you've watched my videos, then you know I do a lot of journey work and I do a lot of work with the ancestors. So this is a really good oil to, I keep calling them oil, water to use when you are wanting to commune with the ancestors or connect with your ancestors through, whether it's through meditation, whether it's through journey work, through ritual, through divination. Now, I do have a friend who likes to, she does a lot of divination work with a pendulum, and I don't do divination with pendulum. I use my pendulum for healing. I know it's, anyway, that's what it told me. So anyway, she takes the Kananga oil because she likes to, she's sort of medium, she's a medium, and so she can commune pretty easily with ancestors and spirits, whatever. And so she will anoint her pendulum with the Kananga oil before she starts her divination, before she starts her communication with the ancestors, and it works really well for her. It's a really great water to use at Samhain, because, you know, that's all about the ancestors. It's also good for protection and guidance, as are all of the waters. They're good for protection and cleansing. Most all of them are. And any of them, you can take and put a few drops into your squirty bottles, whether it's a squirt bottle that you've made a mist for yourself, or a bigger bottle that you use for cleaning your countertops and floors, etc. Or you want to use this for in the shower to mist yourself with, but you're going to want to make sure that you dilute it a little bit with distilled water would work for this. But this is really, really good. It is, I can't tell you what it smells like. I guess Lang Lang. I don't know. I did forget to tell you when I glanced down at my notes that the orange blossom is really good for love, for fidelity, for marriage and for union, for coming together for that union. And so this is excellent water to use at Beltane. If you celebrate Beltane, it's a really good time because that is the time of the union, the coming together, the god and the goddess coming together, the marriage, it's the union. So the orange, or for a hand fasting, excellent to use for a hand fasting ceremony. So, sorry, I hit the table, sorry. Okay, let me check my notes real quick. Yeah, that's good. And the rose water, I mean, it's really good if you have a lot of chaos going on in your home. There's just a lot of yelling and maybe some arguments and just chaos, and you need some peace, some love and some peace. It's really good for that. So you could, and I would suggest that you put a couple drops in your cleaner, or a little squirt bottle with some water, and just wipe your counters, wipe your floors, spritz. You can spritz the bed with it. Anything. It's just spritz. It's really, really good. My favorite water, which I cannot find anymore, we used to sell it at my store. The distributor no longer carries it. I don't know where I can get it. If anybody knows, besides Amazon, I would love to know where I can get this. This is Agua de Flor, which is flower water. That's all it means, flower water. And it's not a, it's sort of an off kind of cheap brand, maybe. It is divine. It smells so good. I love it. I have used this for goddess rituals, moon rituals, devotional rituals, and the gods, the goddesses. It's very feminine. The goddesses love it. The gods seem to like it. They, when you're looking at that polarity and that balance, it's just a wonderful water, and I can't get any more. This is really, see how it's cloudy? This is old. I will not use this because it got cloudy. I don't know why. And maybe there was something wrong with it and they stopped selling it for that reason. But I'm telling you, I really, if you know who sells this, Agua de Flora flower water. I ordered some flower water from the same company that I got this at before, thinking, oh good, they got it back in. It's not the same at all. Now, the other thing that you can do with the waters that I do, and I did for this, the Kananga water is what I used, pretty sure, for this. Because this is a brand new bottle, I haven't used it yet, brought it from work. Good thing about owning a metaphysical store. But this jar, this bottle, do you see the cross on it right here? It's on both sides, cross. Trying to get the glare off so you can see it. It's actually this is an antique holy water bottle, and I got it at an auction like 18-20 years ago, and I absolutely love it. It does not have a lid, and that is where your press and seal comes in handy, or foil comes in handy. I have looked, I don't make it a habit of looking, but I keep thinking that one day I'm going to find a cork that fits in there, or just something that I can seal this with besides plastic paper. But I think what I did, by the smell of this, because I actually made a lot, And I normally don't make this much holy water. I normally do not. And I think that I used the rest of the Kananga oil or water. Gosh, I keep saying that. The Kananga water because I just wanted to get rid of it because I had gotten the new bottle. And I was real low on the holy water. And so I just made a fresh batch. But because there was so much water, Kananga water, that I added more distilled water to it and it made a lot. So if anybody needs an exorcism, let me know. Just kidding. Oh, there you can see the crosses. They're really pretty. They're like little bubbles. Like I can feel them. So what I do with this though is normally this is a sprig of rosemary, and normally I will keep it in there like that with the top on, and then when I need it, I take the rosemary out. It's good for asperging. So I take it out and just cleanse my area, whether it's my ritual area or meditation area. If I have some really thick energy that's just kind of hanging around, then I will use the holy water to just sort of help with that energy. No, I've never used the holy water for exorcisms, anything like that. I do consecrate it and I do bless it, but it is that's not my gig, so I don't use it for that. I use it strictly for that purification energy when I'm doing specific work, or like I said, if for some reason the energy is just too thick after I've done a smudging or going around with my incense or spritzing the energy and it just still feels kind of thick, then I will maybe use the holy water for that and just ask for special blessings and to spritz that. So I have two things that are kind of fun that I want to talk about, two waters that I want to talk about. So one is I have a student that is now, we're friends now, and she's also from California. And when she went home, she went to Laguna Beach, which is my old stomping grounds. I lived right there. And she brought me a jar. I keep this plastic over it because the lid leaks a little bit. This jar of ocean water, Laguna Beach ocean water. And I absolutely adore it. And I don't use a lot of it because, well, I haven't had the need, but I don't want to use it all up because I like it and I don't want to use it all up and then it'll be gone and then I won't have it. Yeah, it is leaking. I think it's because I tipped it up to show you. Anyway, but I have talked before in one of my videos about my personal feelings. So just my humble opinion, the differences between the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, because I am from the West Coast. And the East Coast, at least here in Eastern North Carolina, southeast North Carolina, the water is warm. For the most part, it's pretty warm. Like in the summer, you can't get cooled off in the ocean. It's warm. And the waves sort of roll one right after the other, one right after the other. They're sort of small. And so for me, coming from the West Coast, it's a little quiet. Even though I hear them, they're beautiful. It's a more calming, soothing energy here. It's just very calm. The West Coast, however, that water is cold. Southern California water is cold. I mean, I don't think that I've ever seen a surfer out there without his wetsuit on. I mean, it's really cold. And the waves compared to here are very large. And they come one big swell, bam, and it crashes and and it's powerful. And you can feel the energy behind that wave because there's so much water. And then it's calm. There might be a couple little waves, but they sit on their boards and they wait and they wait. And you can see it coming. You can see the swell coming. And here comes another wave. Yeah, boom. And it's that growing of power that is way different from the East Coast. So the energy of the West Coast for me is very powerful. It's strong, it's powerful, it's cold. So two very different energies when it comes to those waters. So I really appreciated getting that water so that I can use that water when I need it. And I have needed it, and I've used it. You could tell because it was, down off the lid about that much. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about, I swear, I know. This is probably one of my very favorite, my most treasured. I've used it a couple of times, and I don't think I'll probably ever use it again because when this is gone, I will never ever, most likely ever, have an opportunity to get any again. I had a customer years ago, and at the time they were probably maybe 14, 15, something like that. Young, very young. Wise beyond their years, very much an earth child, whatever you would like to call them. Some people call them star seeds. Some people just call them brilliant. I don't like to label them. I just can tell you that he was brilliant and an amazing person, and my life was ever changed for meeting him. Someone so young and so wise. Well, anyway, his family went to Iceland for vacation, and they were driving down the road. And remember now, he's still very young, maybe 16 by this point. Driving down the road and in Iceland, but there was a big river to the side, off the side of the road, and he asked his dad. He said, "What is that river? Where is that water coming from?" And his dad said, "Well, you see that mountain up there?" He said, "You see that glacier? As the glacier melts, it melts down into this river. So it's glacier water. It's from that glacier." And he started yelling, "Pull over, pull over, pull over." So his dad thought maybe he was sick or he got scared. He didn't know what was going on. So he pulled over and he jumped out of the car, took his water bottle, jumped out of the car, poured it out, and filled his water bottle full of this river water from this glacier in Iceland. And when he got back, he gave me this little vial. That's all I've used, a couple of drops. I treasure it. So, I don't know how to say the name of it. I'm going to try one time and then I'll spell it. Eyjafjallajökull. Eyjafjallajökull. A volcano in Iceland. Look it up. I also have this fabulous volcanic ash from 2014 from Italy, Mount Etna. And my friends, another friend of mine, her brother was over there at the time, their brother-in-law. Anyway, I think he's a pilot or has something to do with the airplanes, and they were cleaning. They had to clean all the ash off. And he called her and said, "Hey, do you want some ash, volcanic ash?" And of course, she's jumping up and down. He brought her a bunch of it. And she brought me this jar of volcanic ash. And I'm tickled. I'm just tickled pink. She brought me that shortly after that happened. So doesn't really have anything to do with waters, but it was sitting right there and I was like, was sitting next to all my favorite waters, and so I went ahead and pulled it. Anyway, that's it for today, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Just remember with the water, there's anything and everything that you could possibly think of you can do with the water except for drink it, because it actually is not a water. It actually is a cologne, and I use it all the time for various things. So give it a try. Let me know if you like it, how you used it. That would be fun to know. And don't forget, if you know where I can purchase any of this, it's like a cheap off-brand. I know it is, but it smells divine, and I really like it, and I want to get some more. Okay, guys, so have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.